Hey, this is Chris with Ugly.Teacher.Hiking. What does this alcohol stove stand by Zen Camps have to do with St. Patty's Day weekend? Absolutely nothing. But it was recommended by you all. We got it. Let's take a look at it. Let's make this happen. Ugly.Teacher.Hiking. I hike it so you don't have to. All right, let's take a quick look at this Zen Camps alcohol stove stand. It's a great. I got it off Amazon. It took about 2 weeks to get here. It's not one of their quick deliveries. And on Amazon right now in the US, it's going for $20. $20 for an alcohol stove stand is a little pricey, but I was recommended this by one of our great viewers and said this would be a good upgrade to my kit. So we're gonna give it a try, see how it is. And I really wish I can remember who recommended it, but all of you have been doing such an awesome job with comments. So let's continue that on. Let's open this up. Now, in all due transparency, I did open this up just to make sure everything was in there already, but everyone loves a good opening scene. So let's look at the paperwork they give us. First thing they give you is the how-to directions or user manual. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever gotten a user manual with any of our alcohol stoves except the Trangia, and this is just the stand, so this is a great thing to get. Now this one, they're just trying to watch out for liabilities because it's warnings not to do so much stuff. Look at that. 36 warnings. 36. Wow, that's all I can say. So let's put that to the side. So it came in this nice nylon case. It's okay. It's a little cheap, but for $20. So let's open this up. Strong Velcro. Another Ziploc bag with the stove itself in here. So let's open this up and get this out. So we have two discs, a solid fuel disc, a disc for something like the Evernew, where you can rest the Evernew alcohol stove on top of. You got the stand for the top. Now this is made out of stainless steel, so it's a little on the heavy side, but it's not too bad. We'll go through that when we go through the dimensions. We get three sides. Now, when we're looking at this, the easiest way to do is make sure you have the Zen Camps on the outside, because when I initially put this together, I did not do a good job with this. So you make sure you have the Zen Camps on the outside. Just gotta make sure you do that. Zen Camps on the outside. As long as you have Zen Camps on the outside, you're good. And then a little flick of that. That's a stand. And then this goes across like that. And you just saw that slide off, relatively easy. So you just gotta make sure you're careful. Let's take that off for a second. Let's look at this. That could be a solid fuel stand or alcohol stand like we originally said for the Evernew. That's way too low down. for that. This, my Trangia. Fits in there sturdy, there's no wiggling around. This is a very sturdy base. Let's put the cross member on. Let's go for our 550 mug, which is the smallest cup I'll ever use. So we got this 550 mug on top. Let's just rotate this around. It's very sturdy, very stable. And I think this is probably the smallest cup most people would use. It could go a little smaller too. Maybe down to a 450 cup. Initial thoughts on this, it's great. It seems really sturdy. It's got a great retention on that. Don't like the fact that this keeps falling off when I lift it up. And this is the one piece I can see losing. Just gotta be conscious of that when you're going through this. Let's look at this. We're gonna take the panels and weigh each panel, or at least one panel. See how much that weighs. So one of the three panels is 0.6 ounces, 0.6 ounces. All three panels together, 1.9 ounces, 1.9. Then we definitely need the cross member on top. That gets 2 ounces, 2 ounces. With that, we may need the solid fuel plate. With the solid fuel plate, you'll need the other two. Or the plate with the holes in it for the alcohol stoves like the Evernew. We'll do different measurements because you're not going to have both of these on at once. So right here, we get 2.6 ounces, 2.6 ounces. That's with the solid fuel plate. And with the plate with the holes in it, which we would use for the Evernew alcohol burner, or the Luxada one that I use in quite a few of my videos. That gets us 2.4 ounces, 2.4 ounces. So just for argument's sake, let's see how much this weighs with our Trangia. That gets us 6.1 or 6 ounces, 6 ounces. Let's try it with our Evernew. That gets us 3.2 ounces, but we can't do it without this plate. That gets us 3.7 ounces, 3.7 ounces. So you gotta choose which one works best for you, which alcohol stove you like the most. I like the Evernew, but the Trangia is really starting to grow on me, as I've said in other videos. I'm really starting to like it more and more and more I use it. I think it's one of those stoves that become better over time. So now we're going to take our dimensions using the electric ruler. Make sure it's zeroed. Let's try the plate, the burn plates we have. So this is approximately 73.6 millimeters or 2.89 inches, 2.89 inches. Those are approximate. Let's just keep that in mind. So we know that the other plate is going to be the same. This right here. That gets us 3.93 inches or 99.8 millimeters. 99.8 millimeters. Now, let's look at the walls themselves before we assemble this. That gets you 114.5 millimeters or 4.51 inches. Let's look at height. That gets us 3.14 inches, 3.14 inches, or 79.8 millimeters, 79.8 millimeters. Now let's put this together and get some dimensions off that. Remember what I said? Keep the Zen camps on the outside. Zen camps on the outside. Also, be wary. These sides are very sharp. Very sharp. So I'm going to take simple measurements here. Right there to right there, 47.3 millimeters or 1.86 inches, 1.86 inches, which gives you a very stable top on this. I'm not going to, well, I can measure diagonally. Let's take that off. Measure diagonally. This is going to be really approximate. That gets us 3.87 inches or 98.5 millimeters. Very stable, great looking stove for $20 US. Perfect. It's nice. It will do the job well. Now what we got to do is give it a try. One more part I wanted to measure, which I didn't think about measuring until a moment ago, is from the holes to the top. So the first one, let's take a look at that. 72.0 millimeters or 2.83 inches. The next hole up, that gets you 2.01 inches or 51.1 millimeters. And then the other one, the top one, 45.2 millimeters and 1.78 inches. I'm going to be really excited to see how well this works. All right, let's take a look at Zen Camp's alcohol stove stand. This is a sturdy little stove stand we just talked about. Dimensions are nice. It's a nice compact size. Here's our three sides. Here's the cross member and the solid fuel and the base plate for alcohol stoves other than Trangia. So let's place these back in the bag. Let's put this stove together, or the stand, excuse me. Remember, I always have to remember, keep the Zen camps on the outside. Zen camps on the outside. And if you noticed, it went together very smoothly, a lot better than it has. I've had a lot of practice lately. So, very stable, very sturdy. Now the alcohol stove we're going to use today is the Trangia. Just for the pure fact I like to be standardized, and pretty much everyone can relate to the Trangia and the quality and the build.
Now I thought this was a little funny. From my last video that I did with the Trangia stove, it's tough to see, but there's some fuel still in there, which is a testament. You can see a little in the lid, and nothing's leaked out. I don't see any leaks on the side, which I've heard sometimes can leak where they did that press seal. But yeah, no, I'm digging more and more of the Trangia. So we'll put this in here. Just gotta make sure that they're all on the same level. And we can put the crossbar on top. And we're gonna use our typical 550 Toaks mug for this. This is my go-to cup for any testing that we do. So we have our 550s Toaks mug. I love this mug. The only problem is it's a little smaller than I would like. Maybe a little bigger, 700. That's why I got the Vargo Bot 700. I think that's just perfect. I thought the 750 was a little too big. So we got that. Put that off to the side for a moment. We're gonna take our 2 ounces, way more fuel than we need for this. We're just gonna boil some water to make some tea. Just see how stable the stand is. This little travel bottle, perfect, perfect. I would think maybe, I don't know how big a 5-hour energy bottle is, but for fuel, that might be perfect for someone out there as well. So we have that in there. I'm going to pour the water in. We have our 16-ounce Nalgene, or 2 cups. It's a little tough to see. We're about 1/2 inch from the top, which makes it a little difficult when it starts boiling, but let's take this aside for a second. So I wanted you to make sure you could see that where I'm lighting this from. I got my Zippo with the Zippo butane insert in it. It seems to work pretty good for me. Let's see if it works from here. That work? Ah, there we go. That time it did. I don't know if you heard the pop. It's always that pop. That was nice. All right, we got it going. We're gonna put our cup on top. We're gonna put our temperature probe in there. We're gonna just see how quickly we can get this done. And go. So we're at 2 minutes, 16 seconds. We're at 80 degrees. It's cruising along. We started off in the mid 60s. You can see on the temperature gauge that I had out there. Remember, this isn't a boil test. This is just see how well it works with the Trangia stove. And I can see some great blooming on there. It is hitting the bottom of the pan. I think I found my new stand. Now the crazy thing is, I was hoping I wouldn't be doing much more of the alcohol stoves, but I found a couple more online that, yeah, I'm kind of getting into the routine of doing alcohol stoves. But we're going to be hitting up other things. We're going to be doing a lot of traveling this summer, knock on wood, and a lot of other stuff going on. Just one thing, our videos will be a little sporadic. I'm in the process of moving as well. More to come on that. So videos will be sporadic. They will be coming. Don't give up on me. I promise. I promise. We'll have a great time making these videos. I enjoy making them. I have no intent on going anywhere. Just might be a little nutty for a little bit. We're a little past 5 minutes at 125 degrees. Now on top, I can feel a lot of heat coming off this. So the flames are going around it, both sides, all sides, and it's encompassing this. Beautiful. It's beautiful. I think this stand is the perfect distance away. It's a little more than an inch, but it seems to be working excellent. Yeah, we're at 6 minutes, a little past, almost 7 minutes, and we're at 152 degrees. Yeah, we're getting some bubble formation. I'd say about another minute. And let me just give you guys a heads up. If you ever have an opportunity to get one of these mini vice grips, they're such an awesome investment for camping, in your go bag, EDC. They're teeny tiny, they're awesome. So we're at about 8:35 at 182 degrees Fahrenheit. We're getting there. We'll be there in about another minute, I would have to say. So today we're going to take my Kapilka mug, which I'll do a review on that eventually. And we're going to use our chamomile tea and loose tea bag, a cloth tea bag. All right, we're at 200 degrees. Typically, this starts boiling around this temperature. Let's take a peek at it. Usually 203, we're already boiling, looks like. We'll be there in a moment. Let's put the lid off to the side. So for the most part, we're boiling. Remember, that's not the reason we're doing this. We're just seeing how well it works. So we're at 10 minutes, 17 seconds. That's when the water's boiling. Now let's take this off here and see how well the stove is burning itself. Since we're in the house, I'll use my, put that off to the side there. So I angled the camera a little better so you could see into there. You see the cross member? It's still there. It's not moving. You just got to be careful. Don't wiggle it around. Make sure you're on level ground. I have a cast iron pan underneath here, and I'm going to try to do this. I don't feel any heat coming through this, so that means the pan itself, the stand is doing its job, keeping off the ground, so I have to assume it wouldn't burn anything. So you can see that cross member is getting very hot. Let's see if we can put this in there without making a mess. Now, I'm not very good with this, so let's try to give this a... Well, that didn't work out too well, did it now? So like I said, so that cross member, as you saw, is going to be an issue. You can't drop it in directly. But once I could get this, that's what I'm saying. These little mini vice grips, man, when I was little, you could get them on keychains. If you could find one that small, that's what you want. But I got these dirt cheap, maybe at a dollar store. Maybe it was a pack of 3 for $10. Great little investment for the amount of times I've used it. So that is a great little stand. Now, let's just do a side thing. I'm gonna put this off to the side. We're gonna make our tea. So we're gonna use a cloth tea bag with my chamomile tea. I've been really liking this lately. So these baby water bottles was a great investment. Just put in as much as we need. And of course, I think I put way more than we needed in there. And we just cinch it closed. You guys should be lucky. I'm using a brand new one. I have one in my camping bag that looks like it was dyed. So now, if you've never used a Kapilka mug so far, I'm still in the reviewing stages of this. I really enjoy it. So let's just do this. Now this is a large Kapilka. It's a little smaller than I would like, but the small one is just way too small. So let's give this a minute to steep, and then I will come back with final remarks.
All right, so we gave our boil test. We tried it on the Trangia stove, this Zen Camps stand. It's a great stand. I actually love it. Now, the only thing I don't like about it is this part. This part right here, it slides in and out. Now, if it also lands flat on the ground, you're not picking this up. It wants to stick to the ground. So, like with me, I bent it a little, just to give it a little curve. That helped. That helps a lot. So just keep that in mind when you have this. And also be careful on this because it does slip and slide, as you saw when I was doing that, when I was snuffing out the Trangia. Would I buy this again? Oh yeah. This is a great little stand for 20 bucks. It's a little higher end of the stands, so the basic stands, but I like the 3 different levels. I love the fact that you can use the different types of stoves with this. You're not stuck with just Trangia, or you're not stuck with just the Luxadas or the other alcohol stoves. So would I get this again? Yes, I would. Is it worth the investment? Yes, it is. Now, let's talk about a couple other things, side notes. The next couple weeks, I mentioned this a couple minutes ago, I'm going to be moving. So videos will be sporadic. Please, I'm asking you, please click like and subscribe. Stick with me. I promise I'm not going anywhere. It just might be a little sporadic for a little bit. And then we'll get back to our routine. So now that we've talked about that, I want to have our cup of tea, see how well that went. I used the Kapilka mug. It's a little warm to the touch. Tea bag, I like to leave it in there. So let's give this a try. Ooh, I love chamomile tea. So for the win, the Trangia. Another win is the Zen Camps stove stand. Give it a try. I think you'll enjoy it. Please click like and subscribe. Remember, I do this so you don't have to. I review it so you don't have to. And eventually, as soon as all this moving's done, I will be hiking it so you don't have to. Have a great day. Enjoy a great cup of coffee or tea, whatever works for you.